Welcome to 2018. This is the weekly recap. I'm Matt Wacker. 'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the Hardees, not a creature was stirring, until this guy climbed onto the roof, shimmied down an air conditioning vent, and raided a safe. 19-year-old Ken Kaufman, a former employee of the restaurant on North Bishop in Rolla, has been charged with burglary and property damage. Official documents indicate the burglary took place in 2 stages. After the forced entry, the suspect left through the front door, only to return a half hour later with an accomplice. Investigators determined the safe was opened by a unique login code that belonged only to Kaufman during his time of employment. Kaufman was arrested in his St. James home. More sad news to report from Christmas Eve, as 6 Howell County fire departments responded to a late-night fire at the car lot in West Plains. Co-owner Robert Britton describes the event as suspicious, with the loss estimated at $250,000. The car lot was a car auction, repair, and auto detailing shop. 2 cars and Britton's personal living quarters were destroyed in the blaze. The West Plains Police Department and State Fire Marshal are investigating. Corrections and an update to that crazy shootout story from 2 weeks ago. Authorities now say it was all the result of a drug deal gone bad. A follow-up investigation conducted by the Rolla Police Department has revealed the true identity of Justin Tucker. Tucker was a fictitious name provided by Dalton Comparado after a trio of events, including the exchange of gunfire on Interstate 44, that led to his arrest. The second shooter was 20-year-old Sean Leach of Rolla. Leach was arrested on December 21st. Libraries continue to expand across Missouri. Kabul opened the doors of a newly renovated facility December 30th. Leanne attended the ribbon cutting.
Matt, I'm here with Molly Shelton. She's the director of the Texas County Library System. Molly, why are libraries so important in small towns?
Well, in areas such as this, there's really an air of poverty, so to speak. And so really the library is a place that it offers free resources for anybody. So we have where they can come in and use the internet for free, use the computers for free, sit where it's warm or where it's cool, depending on what time of year it is. And we have all of these different options for children, events and programs. So that, to me, really is the reason that it's so important in small towns such as this.
My name is Liza Cannon. I've been with the Texas County Library for 10 years now. I'm very, very excited about our new expansion addition. We really needed some extra space.
What specific needs will this new facility meet that maybe weren't met in the old building?
Well, in the old building, there was just no room for anything other than books and computers and doing the bare basics. So now we have space to really offer more events and programs for adults and children. So that's what we're really looking forward to doing. And we have a really nice study area in the new portion. So that will allow for just students to come in after school, and it's going to open a lot more outlets in that direction as well.
We also can provide a nice respite from the chaos of the world. It's a nice, serene place, and we're always here to help you.
What would you say are the ways that people can get involved in their local libraries?
Most libraries have what's called a Friends of the Library group, and it's a volunteer group. It's just anybody who has the, has the interest or has it set in their mind, the mission to be helpful to the library. Like for us here at Kabul, our Friends group was, they sold books, they had major events to raise money to help this come to fruition.
My name is Alma Pruitt. I'm with the Friends of the Kabul Library. I would like to thank our community for the donations that they have made and the book sales that they've come and bought from our book sales for this beautiful new expansion.
To me, that is the #1 way that a person can support their library and be involved with the library. It's volunteer opportunities, it's fundraising opportunities, it's promotional opportunities to say, hey, listen, libraries are still here and they're still really important.
Charges have been filed in the shooting death of 34-year-old Tanya Johnson of Rolla. Johnson was transported to PCRMC for treatment of a gunshot wound to the back on December 23rd. She was subsequently flown to Columbia that same evening and later pronounced dead. 26-year-old Dallas Hogue of St. James was taken in for questioning on Christmas Eve. A convicted felon, Hogue was present at the time of the incident. He told authorities that Johnson accidentally shot herself. Hogue is being held on a $50,000 bond. One of Howell County's most wanted was captured recently. 18-year-old Raine Collins was spotted in the parking lot of West Plains Walmart on December 27th in an obvious attempt to fly under the radar. Collins was to appear in court on charges stemming from the theft of a vehicle, guns, and other items, as well as unrelated charges of poaching in October. Collins is also awaiting trial from charges of first-degree assault, where he is accused of restraining a man while another stabbed the victim in his hand. Have you done something with your hair? A familiar face in Rolla, Roy Jacobs, showed up at a New Year's Eve event looking a bit differently than usual. An area marketing professional, Jacobs has sported long locks for years. Leanne caught up with him on January 3rd to find out why he cut them all off.
What led to this was when I was 30, I was diagnosed with testicular cancer. That was my first cancer diagnosis. And
30 years old.
I was 30 years old. And it was caught so early that it was barely even detectable. And after the surgery, they found out I would only need radiation treatments and I would not need chemo. And as we all know, chemo can be make people very ill. Well, it'd been about 17 years. It was late 2013. I went and did a series of biopsies, and out of 12 biopsies, one came back abnormal and one came back positive. So I decided in April of 2014 to have prostatectomy. And after the surgery, about a week or two later, the doctor said it had not spread, no chemo, no radiation.
Again, a second time, no chemo.
A second time, no chemo. And I'm just like, wow, how lucky can I be? I've had cancer twice, but I've beat the chemo scare, the chemo treatments. And that same year, a friend of mine, a coworker here on campus, was diagnosed with breast cancer. And she went through the whole procedure of chemo and radiation. She lost her hair and got a wig. And that same time, a friend of mine, her son, was diagnosed with brain cancer. And he's gone through several chemo treatments and he has lost all his hair. So it was middle of August of 2014, that summer. I thought, I'm gonna let my hair grow and donate it to a charity. And then I started letting it grow, my hair started graying a little bit more and more. So I'm doing some research and I found out that certain charities did not want gray hair. So I kind of gave up and I just let it grow and grow and grow. And then Thursday before New Year's, I'm on Facebook.
This year, last week, okay.
Thursday of last week, I'm looking at my Facebook and I have a Facebook feed that said top charities to donate hair. And the last one I came to was Children with Hair Loss. And they said that they would accept gray hair. And their requirement was at least 8 inches and I had 10.5. So we cut it and I'm sending it off to Children with Hair Loss.
That is an amazing story. So here you are, coldest part of the year, and now you have no hair.
I have no hair. I got it cut Saturday and walked out of the shop and my neck and ears were quite cold.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people around here are going to miss your beautiful long hair, but it's for a good cause.
It's for a good cause, yes.
Matt?
That's all for now. Thanks for watching the weekly recap. Have a happy new year. I'm Matt Wacker. I'll see you next time. The Weekly Recap is brought to you by Rice Chopper, Cooking from Scratch, the UPS store of Rolla, Bayard Dodge in West Plains, and the Ozarks Medical Center.